everyone! Lately I've been alternating my attention in between Cryptid Lake and the pre-production of another project that I call Bunnyface. This project specifically is based off a few video games that I absolutely love, like Alice Madness Returns and especially Little Nightmares, as well as the manga Girl from the Other Side. I feel like you can get a feel of what I'm going for with those references alone in mind. I really love my Bunnyface characters and I've been itching to share them with you guys. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with this project, as in, do I want to make an animated short or do I want to make a comic? But regardless, whatever I end up doing with them, it will take a good while, especially because I'm also working on Cryptid Lake at the same time, and that as priority over other projects. But still, I'd love to introduce to you the main characters, some of which you may recognize if you've been here for long enough. Let's start with our main characters, Hazel, the little girl with the bunny mask, and Nine, the little boy dressed up as a ghost. Usually when I do introductory videos to characters, I usually split them up and talk about them individually, but I just couldn't bring myself to separate these two. Hazel is a calm, sweet, and optimistic little girl that lives in the woods with her sister, her father, and Nine, a little boy that Hazel and her sister found while playing in the woods. Nine didn't seem to have a place to go to or a family, so Hazel's family was quick to adopt him. Hazel is never seen without her mask, only taking it off when she goes to sleep, and even then sometimes she forgets to take it off. This mask was handmade by her dad, and because I wanted to be able to show her emotions clearly, the mask emotes in the same way she would if she wasn't wearing it. Essentially, her mask is an extension of herself. She's a young kid, about 9 years old, so she has a very naive and innocent view of the world. Despite her young age, she is very emotionally mature, and I'd say that her best characteristic is her compassion and empathy. She's very perceptive, very quick to understand others' emotions, even if they try to hide it. And she always tries her best to make others feel better, even if she doesn't understand exactly why they feel the way they feel. She loves her home, she loves her family, and she's always following her dad or her older sister, and now that Nine lives with them, she often brings him along with whoever she's following that day. Nine, on the other hand, is very shy, very closed off, and very jumpy. He usually has a hard time trusting others, but he was quick to connect with Hazel because of her kindness, and he cares a lot about her. He considers Hazel to be his first friend, so he trusts her completely, and since Hazel is so comfortable with her family, Nine quickly felt that he could trust her family as well. Nine is about 10 years old, and like I mentioned before, he was found by Hazel and her sister hiding by himself in the woods near their house. Sometimes the dad and the sister would ask what he was doing alone in the woods, but he always found a way to change the subject, and so they tried to not bring it up. They realized that he would tell them one day once he felt comfortable to do so. Like Hazel, he covers his face. He uses an old and well-loved bedsheet. This bedsheet works as a safety blanket as well, and he never leaves it behind. Hazel also considered Nine to be her first friend, not counting her older sister, and so they're always together. They share most toys, and sometimes they share baked goods as well. Hazel notoriously has a sweet tooth, so she often finishes her desserts a bit too fast, and Nine doesn't mind giving her some of his desserts, so they can finish eating at the same time. Next up, we have Hazel's big sister, Canel. Canel is a 12-year-old girl that is obsessed with adventures. She has lived all her life in that little corner of the woods, and she desperately wants to see the world. She is incredibly stubborn and headstrong, so sometimes she can be really annoying with her dad, trying to convince him to let her explore the world. She's 12, she thinks she's a big girl now, and she doesn't quite grasp that everything that her dad does is to keep them all safe, and that the world outside is more dangerous than she thinks. She is energetic, confident, and she can also be a bit grumpy at times. Hazel is her best friend, and she loves to go on little adventures and play pretend with her. Her favorite toy is a wooden sword made by her dad. She loves to pretend that she's a knight or a pirate, and she's always swinging it around. She finds Nine to be a little bit weird, but she still likes him, and now that the duo turned into a trio, their games became much more fun and interesting. She's really loyal and she loves her family. It's true that she wants to explore, but she doesn't want to do it alone. She wants her family to be by her side. She would truly do anything for her family, and she was taught from a young age to be protective over her sister. And since their mother passed, Canel has been even more protective over Hazel. Despite having arguments with her dad, Canel is still Daddy's little girl, and she loves to help him bake and cook for the family. She loves that she is the only one aside from her dad that is allowed to use the stove or cut things with a knife, with supervision of course. And finally we have Oleander, Hazel and Canel's dad. Oleander is a very understanding and family-oriented man. He lives for his children and everything he does, every sacrifice is for them. All he wants is for his kids to live a peaceful and safe life. When the girls brought Nine home, Oleander was shocked and a bit hesitant. But one look at the kid and it was clear that he was not a threat and he had nowhere to go, so Oleander welcomed Nine with open arms and from the start treated him like one of his kids. He's a very intelligent individual that loves to read. They own many books on a variety of subjects. They live an almost self-sustained life, so most of the books are about foraging or cooking, but they also have some history books, maps, fairy tales, among others. He's very protective of his little girl, sometimes a little overprotective, but I don't think you can blame him. With what happened with Hazel and Canel being Canel, all the care in the world is too little in his eyes. Since he lost his wife, he's been feeling a bit lost. He never thought he'd raise 3 kids on his own, and now he's starting to doubt his own decisions. Maybe it is time to leave the cabin and search for a better place to live. And with this, we get to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Also, if you want to see more stuff from me, I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at momopurin_chan. Thank you so much and until next time, bye!